And we move into Division 3, where there are again 3 games this round, of course, just the 2 last weekend, with 3 sides sitting at their final bye of the season. Despite there only being 2 games, they were both nail-biters. The Thomastown-Watsonia game had so much at stake, and it was a game befitting a final, wasn't it? It was pretty dramatic in the end, and Watsonia recorded a victory which now gives it again plenty of hope of finishing inside the top 2 come season's end, remembering though that Thomastown still has an extra game up its sleeve.
Yeah, I think so. And I think Thomastown, if they don't get that double chance, they'll be looking at this game in particular. 4 goals, 13 in that first quarter, leading by, I believe it was 5 goals, 3/4 time. How they let it slip through their hands is beyond me. And also a great win to Reservoir over Heidelberg West.
Well, they made to fight for it. We said last weekend that they'd had their troubles with Heidelberg West. I think it was 16 points and 25 points, their 2 wins. And again, this time here, it was 22 points, but they had to come from 3 goals down midway through the third term to get the win. So they were made to work for it. Just on that Thomastown one, it was that first quarter where, I know they had a good lead, but it's almost where they lost the game. 4-13 to 1 straight in the first quarter. You get an 8-goal lead, you're not going to lose from there, surely. And full credit to Watsonia, backs to the wall in the final term, 7 goals 2 to 0 in that final quarter. So a massive win for Watsonia. I still think that Thomastown fancy themselves to finish second. They've got a run home which sees it against St Mary's, and I think Heidelberg West in the last game as well. So plenty of percentage for them. They probably feel needs to be gained. I think it's about 4% at the moment. It equates to about 4 goals, but they can't afford to lose either of those games, because Watsonia is the first game we'll take a look at this week at home to Parkside, and with so much at stake, I can't see Watsonia losing this one here. They know they have to win by as many points as possible to give them the best chance of finishing inside the top 2. They had the bye in the last game of the year, but even though Reservoir's in third, given Thomastown has that game up the sleeve, it's down to Thomastown and Watsonia for second spot. And I think if Watsonia gets a big enough win this weekend, I think they'll be the ones who probably deserve to hold on.
Yeah, I'd say so. It was a disappointing loss to Watsonia the previous week against Reservoir. Realistically, they should have won that game, and now they've snatched one from Thomastown. It's a fantastic win. As for Parkside, the inconsistency has been poor all year, and I think it's going to happen again. I'm certainly going to be going with Watsonia for a big win.
On Watsonia, they've played Thomastown now 3 times for 3 wins, so they almost couldn't do any more to push inside for second spot over the Bears, but it is probably going to come down to percentage unless Thomastown is surprised somewhere along the lines. I'm going to stick with your tip there and also tip Watsonia. On Thomastown, they're away to St Mary's. It's playing for the Northern Footy Show Cup, it has to be said, so that's the first one in the inaugural prize that they're playing for. Last time these 2 sides played at Watmore Park, it was Thomastown by 3 points. It may well be that result that gets them into second spot come season's end, but they just can't afford to drop another game in the run home. It should be a pretty close encounter. St Mary's had the bye last weekend, so they'll be rejuvenated and I'm sure looking for a win in their last home game for the season.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a disappointing year. We've said it all year. St Mary's haven't really had the best season. I guess the positive what they've got is, once again, Thomastown just got up by 3 points and playing for the Northern Footy Show Cup. It should be a pretty big day. Looking forward to it, but as a result itself, I'm sticking with Thomastown.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Thomastown as well. I think this is a game where every Watsonia fan is going to be tipping St Mary's, because I can't see Heidelberg West knocking over the Bears in the last game of the year, but a massive test for St Mary's. Would be great for them if they could get a win in their last home game for the year, but I still think the Bears have got just far too much to play for, really, and I think they'll win it in a pretty close game. The final game of the round, similar to what we see in Division 2, it sees a bottom place team take on the top place team, Heidelberg West taking on the Pantheon Hill Football Club. And Heidelberg West, it was another honourable loss, and I'm sure they're sick of that now, because they've had so many games this year where they've had a chance of winning, and it's been a quarter here or a quarter there that probably cost them in the end, and they were looking good for 2.5 quarters against Reservoir, and in the end just ran out of gas and went down 10-17, 77 to 8-7, 55. They're going to find it really tough to get a win this weekend against a Pantheon Hill side, which is looking for, I think it's their 9th consecutive win, and they've now all but sewn up this year's minor premierships. Mathematically, they can't lose it, so congratulations to Pantheon Hill. They've done that twice in a row, and you think they'll use that the last 2 weeks of the year against Heidelberg West and then against Reservoir to really fine-tune their game going into the final series.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully Pantheon Hill will do quite the opposite they did last season. Hopefully they'll go in a bit more confidence this year. Last season, remember, against Moona, they were really beaten quite badly. As for the game itself, Heidelberg West, I guess you could probably see if they played out the 4 quarters in a lot of their games, maybe they have more wins on the board. That's something they can probably look into next season. As for the game itself, I'm going to be going with Pantheon Hill.
I think that'll be unanimous tips throughout the weekend. We thank you for your time tonight. Of course, you can tune in to the radio broadcast this weekend. It'll be a Division 1 clash, Montmorency taking on Bundoora at Geelong Reserve. Tune in to 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. As usual, the live scores are available on the website www.nfl.org.au, on your mobile at m.nfl.org.au. Again, thanks for your time, and we'll see you again next week.